You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
But we need little Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Let it be Christmas everywhere.
Giddy up, sing on or speak up your feet.
And now, everybody, it's time for the Take 12 Recovery Radio 2018 Christmas Special. Are you ready for it? Hit it, Maestro! Okay, here we go. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to all of you. That's right. It's the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming round. The Christmas snow is white on the ground. When old Santa gets into town, he'll be coming down the chimney down. Hey everybody, welcome to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Christmas Show for 2018. We have a great show for you today. Everybody's here. Everybody's happy. Well, almost everybody. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Grinchy Poo. Yeah, we got some Christmas trivia and some Christmas topics to talk about and recovery stuff. It's just going to be a good old show because it's the holiday season. So whoop-de-doo and hickory-dock. Well, maybe we ought to remind you that Take 12 Recovery Radio is not affiliated with any particular 12-step program. And you shouldn't consider anything we talk about here like professional or anything, or you shouldn't even, maybe you shouldn't even listen to it. But, you know, if you do, you do. So, you know what? It's time. Take it away, the Monty'man.
Thank you, Cecil. Welcome to our Christmas special. Wow. Welcome aboard, everyone, to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show 2018 Christmas special. Tony's here.
Good morning.
Dave Fleming is here.
Yo.
Marv's here.
Yeah, I am.
And Denver is back in the saddle again.
Hello, folks.
Hello, Denver.
Howdy.
Denver.
There you are.
There we go. All right, the whole crew's here. And, well, Merry Christmas and all that kind of good
Rot.
That was the Grinch.
You're a little grinchy over there. So we're gonna have some fun today, and but before we get into all this rigmarole stuff, how you doing, Marv?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Of course, that's just my opinion.
Pull your mic a little closer to you there, buddy.
All righty.
There you go. All right. And Toni, how are you? Got a new coat?
I did get a new coat, and Popsicle's gone.
And Popsicle's gone. The problem roommate is gone. Merry
Life
Christmas.
was amazing.
Merry Christmas. Denver, how's it going, buddy?
Good. Tony brought me a blanket. I feel like I'm sitting in the senior center place. Right.
Right.
You're fit the part.
Yeah.
You look it.
Yeah. I got new teeth. I'm trying to navigate talking with those. Haven't learned to eat with them very well yet.
Right.
Like, not at all.
They look amazing, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. They look very nice.
I'll glue them in one of these days.
So he won't be singing "All I Want for Christmas."
No apples yet.
Is
No apples.
my complete set of teeth. And Dave Fleming, how are you, Mr. Vid?
Blessed and grateful.
Blessed and grateful. Why isn't your? Oh, there. Now talk to me.
Probably because I got the different mic.
Yeah, you got the Shure.
I got to talk this close.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
Blessed and grateful.
Blessed and grateful. Well, it's good to have you guys all here. And, well, it just is.
How are you, Monty?
I am chipper.
Chipper.
Although I will have to say the weather has got my bones aching.
Yes.
You too?
I hear you.
Man, my knees.
I
My,
thought you were just agreeing with him.
It's just old age.
Get a blanket.
man, I'm telling you, it's just.
Oh my God, we need to do this more often.
Whoopee!
We need
Get
to
a heating
move
pad
it.
and a donut.
Let's take this. Let's
I
take
forgot
this
the donuts.
The
I
one
know.
you sit on.
Let's take it to Arizona.
Let-
Yeah.
We
Yes.
won't have that problem.
Is there Santa in Arizona?
No, but there's warmth.
Okay.
Summer Santa hangs out in Arizona.
So my wife told me, she said, "You've been wearing long pants a lot lately. You must be getting old." And I guess because I hate long pants.
Yeah,
I just wear
you're
them
always
to
in
work
shorts.
because I have to wear them at work during the wintertime. But I don't like them. But I'm beginning to warm up to them a little bit.
La 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 ruse.
Yes, indeedy. So anyway, that's me and my long pants. And
Excuse me, everybody. You need to just stop
Okay.
right there for a minute because just because it's the holiday season doesn't mean that the Monty'man doesn't have something to whine about. So here's
Of course.
Monty'man's weekly whine.
I miss my old baby.
it's the new baby.
We'll call this the Christmas baby.
It sounded like a baby.
Okay, we're going to lose half of our listening audience after this show.
I was going to say, it's the Christmas baby, but you
So
should-
I got some stuff to whine about.
I'm whining about my baby.
I am absolutely fed up with this baloney, and I'm just gonna go off with it. As sexual assault survivors continue to share their stories, sparking the worldwide Me Too reckoning, actress Kristen Bell is publicly expressing concern about Snow White.
Oh my God.
I thought snowflakes.
Right? And the prince
Wow.
who kissed her without her consent. Belle.
Is this a true story?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Belle, who provided
Yeah.
the voice of Princess Anna in Disney's animated film Frozen, told Parents Magazine that when she reads Snow White to her two young daughters, she poses a question. Don't you think that it's weird that the prince kisses Snow White without her permission?
Oh my goodness.
Because you cannot kiss someone if they're sleeping.
So then the story would just end there. Right?
They're also complaining about Sleeping Beauty and Prince Charming kissing Sleeping Beauty without her consent. It's considered sexual assault now.
Yeah, they're going after Rudolph too.
Yeah, I was about to say they're going after Rudolph too.
Well,
I'm surprised they haven't brought Frosty in
if
there.
you were under the illusion that Rudolph was an unobjectable component of December, you are in good company. The tale of Santa's plucky little fog navigator is a staple of school holiday pageants everywhere, and it's easy to see why. Sufficiently secular that it won't get anyone in trouble, sufficiently simple that the kindergartners can remember it on stage. The song is cast as an inspiring tale for youngsters, a story about how even the lonely and the left out are part of the Christmas magic.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, this is not at all what the lyrics actually teach. According to the author of this article, let's review. There's this little reindeer with a deformity. We have no evidence that this deformity actually keeps him from his reindeer duties. He has a red glowing nose. Big deal. It's not like he has a torn ACL that might limit his flying sleigh pulling abilities. At any rate, because of this deformity, the other reindeer laugh, call him names, and bar him from their all-important reindeer games, effectively ostracizing him just because he looks funny. Then, on December 24th, the fog rolls in. Santa and the in crowd are stranded. Without so much as an apology, Rudolph is asked to guide the sleigh, or perhaps he isn't even asked. The lyrics specify that Santa came to say, so he's telling him what to do, and that Rudolph could guide his sleigh. I'm guessing no one even inquired as to whether he had other holiday plans.
No wonder the Grinch is so popular.
Tell me about it.
Right?
Despite the
Well,
repeated
he's next.
Despite the repeated snubs and the impolite requests, Rudolph demonstrates his utility in brilliant form, at which point all the reindeer decide that they love him. Notice, they still don't apologize. Many say this song should be banned from all future pageants and children should not be permitted to sing it. It simply promotes bullying.
That dude needs to get some counseling. Obviously, he has unresolved issues from his childhood.
That article was actually written in 2013.
Really?
Yep, in the New Public magazine by Michael Schaefer. Michael, you've got issues. So here's my suggestion.
I know some good counselors.
Here's my suggestion. Let's talk about these. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh my God! Don't say there's anything on that.
That's fake news.
According to who?
This is my point.
Wow.
She's back.
Oh my God. Shut up. Somebody said that, really?
Little drummer boy. Well, that's general. That's gender general problems there. Maybe he doesn't know that he's not a boy. I don't know.
Little drummer person?
Little
Is that
drummer
what it should
person,
be?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Check this one out. White Christmas is racist.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
What about Black Christmas?
Oh my God.
What about Red Christmas and Yellow Christmas?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh, come all ye faithful is
I don't even want to know.
it's exclusive. It's against those who aren't faithful.
Oh my God.
God rest ye merry gentlemen is anti-feminist.
Stop.
Winter Wonderland dismisses wonderlands that don't have winter.
I just drooled.
This,
Stay over there.
and if you've ever listened to the song, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, that's exclusive against the 4th of July and summer.
Oh my God.
The other parts of the year get very offended.
I'm crying right now.
What about It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That goes.
that's offensive to those who are dead,
Or that don't have a wonderful life.
right?
Like right now.
Let it snow. Let it snow is.
Oh my God. Stop.
Let it snow is not fair to where it doesn't snow,
California.
right? Do you hear what I hear? They're calling.
They're calling.
Do you-
Oh my God.
The snowflakes are mad.
The attorneys are trying to get in touch with you.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord.
The PC police are
Our
calling.
phone.
I should not have put eye makeup
Our
on
lines.
today.
Our lines are all lines are flashing like crazy right now. Do you hear what I hear?
Is that
Well,
kinda
let me
like,
get to the
do you
punchline.
smell what I smell?
I can only hear it. Oh wait, no. I would.
It's insensitive to the hearing impaired.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
Oh thank God.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. Well, that just simply promotes adultery.
Oh my God.
What?
What? Have people lost their minds?
Oh my God.
Snow White got kissed without her permission.
Are we done?
Are you kidding me?
What about the
It's
what
love's
about,
true
These
kiss.
of this
What?
stuff.
what about the bullies in Rudolph?
Oh my God.
Well, you know, my son. Well, I did. We talked about them. They're bullying Rudolph. So my son said something. He said, "I'll tell you what's disgusting." He's saying people that are complaining about this stuff promote movies like what's that one that Gray.
Shades of gray.
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey.
Right?
Oh, there's
I know.
nothing wrong with that, which is basically about rape. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Oh my God. You should have warned me. I wouldn't have even done my makeup.
Well, as
today.
long as it includes every aspect of our civilization,
Yeah.
then it's okay, right?
We're not going to get into politics, are we?
No, please don't.
Well, somebody was calling trying to.
It's the PC police.
And we're not even live. That's probably one of the
I'm just telling you,
deaf people.
Crazy. Isn't
it is absolutely
Oh my
insane.
God, my stomach hurts.
People have absolutely lost their minds. I mean,
Were these real accusations? This cannot be real.
oh yeah, it's real,
Yeah, unfortunately.
real.
The world, you have lost it, okay?
Well, the funny thing is, it's not the world. It's probably about a 0.5
Oh, I know.
of a percent.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's true.
Hopefully.
It's true. It is a very small percentage. But no, that the good news it is a very small percentage. But today's media would like you to believe that it's a huge percentage, and it's not.
There is nothing about Frosty in there, though.
Frosty the
Be
Snowman.
careful.
The day's
now.
not over.
Right. How come it wasn't a snow woman?
Well, yeah.
Snow person.
A snow person. Why is it? Okay, I'm not
Gender
gonna say
neutral
that.
snow person.
I was not going to say it.
Critical comment, Denver.
Here's a weekly win. Something to win about. Something to hooray about.
Oh, my God.
Little applause there. Yeah, so we went to, Marcia and I and the gentleman who was the best man in our wedding, Dan Clark and Sharon Clark, his wife, and our son Cameron, went up to George Fox University to see the concert that my son plays tuba in, and he's I'll tell you, it just makes a parent beam. So we're opening up the program, and George Fox University has this very uptown program because they're a big university, right? And there on the next page, when you open it up, it says music director, her name, and then it says assistant director Colin Meyer.
Aww.
And I mean, you just, what do you do with that? You just get goosebumps. And so there he was playing the tuba and with the choir and the full orchestra and the string instruments, and it was quite the production. And I'm just sitting there just grinning from ear to ear. I mean, when your kid does something like that and he's been involved, he's working on his master's in education, and his goal is to be a professor at university level.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he's working towards.
That's cool.
And so the thing that was devastating though is he came downstairs the other night and he said, "My Apple computer is now a piece of a junk of metal." And I go, "What are you talking about?" Well, evidently he rebooted it and it wiped the entire hard drive. So like
Everything's
3 weeks of work that is due today,
Shut up.
gone. Absolutely gone. For no reason whatsoever. And he is freaking out. We're freaking out. He's like, "I'm going to have to do everything over again. I'm going to have to do 3 weeks worth of work in 2 days."
I would have him go find somebody that knows about the computers because
Well,
you
he
can
tried-
retrieve that information.
Yeah, well, check this out. This is really interesting. So he went online and he looked at all the forums and everything when this happens, and everything they said to do, none of it worked. He called the Apple Store, and they set an appointment with him, but they said it sounds like it's gone, but they set an appointment for him. And then he talked, and this is what's hilarious, and this is a win. So then he talked to these guys who are majoring in computer technology and all that kind of stuff at the university, right?
Yep.
These guys are, they're only a year away from graduating, and he handed them his Apple, and they says, "We can do this," right? The next day, they gave it back to him and said, "No, we can't. It's toast." And they even had the professor that teaches the course look at it, said it was toast. So Colin got this idea. He said, "Why don't I try writing my own code?" So he got on his Mac Mini, his desktop. He downloaded some stuff. Anyway, he fixed it himself.
Only Colin could do that.
He did it himself. He goes, "Well, so much for IT majors." Right? So here this guy, he's a music major. He doesn't know anything about computers to the degree that these guys do, and he fixed it himself. Everything got retrieved, and it's back to normal.
How did he write his own code?
I don't know.
You can learn how to do it online.
He went on
There's all kinds of
Google
programs.
Really?
and followed instructions. And so what he learned on Google, the guys who were majoring in that area of technology couldn't even do. And he just went on Google and followed the instructions and wrote his own code.
Yep.
That is a win.
That is,
That's
win. I'm speechless over that. Only Colin could do that. Only Colin could do that.
So Merry Christmas. All right, we're going to take a break, come back and do some Christmas Take 12 trivia. So don't go away. Check this out. Da-da-da-da. Tee-dee-tee-dee.
Just hear those windows smashing and dashboards cracking. Yoo-hoo. Outside there's someone waiting to make a victim of you. They stole your GPS, your phone and presents too. It could have been avoided, but you left your stuff and blame you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. They call the po-po. Where your stuff will end up, we'll never know. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, too bad. It's gone and you're sad.
Don't forget to lock your doors and hide your valuables.
That's right. There is a difference between faith and foolishness. Foolishness would be, I'm going to leave my presents in the car and leave the windows rolled down and the doors unlocked, and I'm just going to pray that God protects my car.
You should have got a trunk monkey.
What's a trunk monkey?
You never heard of a trunk monkey?
The monkey hangs out of the back of the trunk?
Is that like the steering wheel thing?
When the monkey's in the trunk, so if somebody tries to hijack your car or break in your car, the monkey comes out with a baseball bat, whacks the person over the head, and drags him off.
I like that.
Onto the sidewalk, and they call the police.
I like that.
It's a security system.
Denver, you could be my trunk monkey.
Go on YouTube, go on YouTube and type in trunk monkey.
Trunk monkey.
It's hilarious.
But that's foolishness.
Do horses need trunk monkeys?
Oh, no.
Okay, that'd be kind of weird. Huh?
Now, it's a car dealership, I think, came up with the idea, and they made a whole bunch of videos.
That's great. I love it. So please have faith that your car will be protected. But faith also means that you're going to do your part. So lock your car, put your gifts in the trunk, you knuckleheads. I will tell you, though, that on Christmas Eve, I think it was 1989 or something like that, I was in college, right? We couldn't afford a dumpster at our apartment. Mm-hmm. So we took all of our trash and we put it in boxes and wrapped it up with Christmas wrap. And stuck it in our car back seat with the windows down and the doors unlocked and parked it downtown San Jose.
Shut up.
And in about 3 hours, our garbage was gone.
That's awesome.
Here's a little Christmas tip for you. Save on your garbage bill. By the way, I have to. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the dump here in Lynn County.
I saw that. Oh my God,
it's
that's
gone
like
from
twice the amount.
$28 to $80 some odd dollars.
Like 2 times the amount
for one load.
Time to wrap
I didn't even
presents.
know.
Time to wrap your your garbage in presents.
Until that article, I never even knew we had a dump around here.
I'm telling you. What can I say? It's that time.
Hey, everybody, it's that time. You betcha. It's that time for some Take 12 trivia. And, of course, it's all about Christmas. So take it away, the Monty'man.
All righty. Thank you, Cecil. Oh, by the way, everybody in the studio, as I didn't wrap them this year. I'm a little lazy this year. Gets their own bottle of Martinelli sparkling cider. Merry Christmas.
Yes, we're popping bottles.
Yeah, you
Popping tops.
Okay, so we have several here. All right, here is, okay, if you get it right, you get some jingle bells.
Okay.
Okay, if you get it wrong, you always get the fluff machine. All right, so here's a trivia question number 1. What was the purpose of the first candy cane? The purpose of the first candy cane. Here's your choices. To use as a decoration at the base of a special Christmas cake. Or was it created for children who were bored with Christmas? Or was it to hang on Christmas trees? Toni, what do you think?
Nastiness, because I hate candy canes, so I say Christmas trees.
Christmas trees, Marv?
Cake.
Cake, Denver?
Who cares?
Who cares? He's such in the holiday
Y'all are
spirit.
nasty.
Tree? Okay. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah.
Cake, board?
Cake, I guess.
Okay, so the choices
Do
are
a peppermint cake. Ugh.
cake, board children, and hanging on Christmas trees. All right, well, you're all wrong. It was created for children who were bored. The first known candy cane was made in 1670 by a German choir master to help children endure the boredom of lengthy nativity services. They were white and modeled after shepherd's canes. The candy cane made its way to America in 1847 when a German immigrant decorated the tree in his Ohio home with the iconic candy. So that's the candy cane. It was made for bored kids.
I was thinking this maybe some Christmas promotion for barber shops.
Yeah, right. That's kind of a bloody little piece of trivia. Well, maybe
Peppermint's
we'll share that someday.
nasty.
Oh, I love it. Oh, especially peppermint ice cream. All right, number 2. What we have come to know as the Christmas tree actually made its first appearance with who? Was it Germans and the Swedes, Egyptians and Romans, or the French and Canadians? What do you think, Denver?
Did you say German?
Germans and Swedes?
I'm going with German.
Okay. Dave?
German.
What do you think there, Toni? Was it Germans and Swedes, Egyptians and Romans, or French and Canadians?
I dare to be different. I'll say the last one.
French and Canadians? All right. Marv?
Germans.
Well, again, you're all wrong.
What?
Perfect.
Egyptians
and Romans. You got
yes,
to be kidding
indeed.
me.
There's no.
Now, listen.
It's all sand.
Settle down.
Marv are like uproared about this.
Christmas trees first made an appearance with the ancient Egyptians and Romans. They used them to mark the winter solstice. The evergreen served as a reminder of the green plants that would come in the spring. However, it wasn't until Prince Albert and his wife, Queen Victoria... Why are you laughing? I think I know why you're laughing.
Yeah, don't ask.
Somebody do with a can.
Leave that one alone.
Him and his wife, Queen Victoria of England, appeared in a drawing in the Illustrated London News in 1848 that the tradition actually took off.
Take it, Marv.
Okay, here's your third one.
How do they grow in sand?
What?
Christmas
They
trees.
they got Christmas trees in Egypt.
Yeah.
Evidently.
They weren't called Christmas
They probably
trees.
weren't
I'll
your
Google
typical...
this for us, Marv. I'll Google this.
They probably
Next
look,
month we'll
look
come back
more
to
like
this.
the old Snoopy
the
tree.
The Charlie Brown
But they
Christmas
had
tree.
grass.
All right.
Cut the grass, don't smoke it.
Oh, God. Well.
Sorry.
All right. We're just having fun today,
We
listeners.
are.
You know, listen, if you're wondering what any of this stuff has to do with recovery or sobriety or any of that stuff, well, because
Exactly. Like my old counselor used
Everything
to say,
applies.
20% of fun. You got to have 20%
yeah, you
of fun.
do. And we're just having some fun. And all you guys that are whining about Rudolph and White Christmas and all that, pull the needle out of your head and get a life. Gee, willikers. All right. Some of our European neighbors have some interesting traditions when it comes to the holidays. One such tradition is what? And here's your choices.
Oh, Lord.
Decorating the tails of donkeys with bells and ribbons during Christmas Eve.
Oh, my God. Why would you do that?
You know, if Taste 12 Radio ever has a spin-off show, it'll be Toni.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God.
Toni and Friends.
Well, you never know, you know?
Oh, my God. Why would you decorate it?
All right.
Go ahead.
The tail of the donkey with ribbons and bows. B, would it keep live fish alive in their bathtubs?
Oh, my God. I I'm sorry.
Okay.
Here's your last choice. The men would adorn their shoes with tinsel and glitter and dance in the streets shirtless one day after Christmas.
See, that would be cool.
You going with that one?
As long as they're cute.
What was the question? What was the...
Some of our European neighbors have some interesting traditions when it comes to the holidays. One such tradition is what? Decorating the tails of donkeys, keeping a fish alive in your bathtub, or the men adorning their shoes with tinsel and glitter and dancing around shirtless.
You poor fish out there.
I want to say donkeys.
Donkeys? What do you think, Marv?
Well, that only makes sense. That's where the game came from. Pin the tail.
on the
donkey. Oh, hey.
So I'm going to go,
We'll go with donkeys then.
All right.
Good point.
Sorry,
Good
you're all
point.
wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Don't say it's the fish one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
shut
is.
up. You poor fish.
Yeah. In parts of Eastern Europe, it is customary to keep a live fish in your bathtub in preparation for the Christmas Eve feast. Why? Well, some suggest it's because the carp is one of the oldest fish species and indispensable to the fishing industry in parts of Europe. Though mentions of carp dishes can be found as far back as the 17th century, it wasn't until the 19th century that it became widespread, as fish was a luxury, and most common folk ate predominantly non-meat meals.
I know, you could put piranha in there and then toss the Christmas lamb into the tub and watch the piranha have Christmas dinner.
Okay.
Denver would like that.
So now Christmas trees grow in Egypt, and now fish in
the bathtub.
Sounds kind of fishy to me.
We're in the wrong country, man.
We need to go to Europe or Egypt. Is Egypt in Europe? No.
Paul McCartney is a Beatle.
We should do a world.
That's like the
Christmas
Thanksgiving
tour.
thing, huh?
A world Christmas tour.
Yeah,
It takes already a world Christmas tour.
Go see what the traditions are across
I want
the
to see a
world.
Christmas tree in Egypt.
All right. Here's your last one. Denver is so happy. We're going to let him answer this first.
Okay.
Which one of these songs was not intended as a Christmas song? Here's your choices.
It's cold outside, baby.
There's a bunch of people complaining about that song, too.
Oh, I know.
Exactly.
And actually, if you've never... So we'll get back to this trivia question. I got to talk about this.
Yeah, because I don't get it.
If you've never, ever heard the song or seen the movie or watched Dean Martin and whoever...
It's an elf, too.
If you've never seen them sing it, you might actually agree with the statements that this thing is very weird. Because I was reading the lyrics, and I said, before I read the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside, I'm going to clear my mind and be open-minded about the whiners about this, right? So I began to read it, and I got to tell you, if you didn't know the context that this was in, it would creep you out. Because there's statements like, I need to go, and then the guy goes, oh, no, 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 and he kind of shoves her over to the corner away from the door. And she says, what's in this drink? And he goes, just one more. I mean, it is kind of creepy if you don't know the history of the song. Well, she's asking what's in the drink because the person would refer to what's in the container she's drinking out of. Well, it's champagne. It's not like there's a drug in the drink, but you would have to know the contents of that. So millennials that never saw the movie, never heard the song,
Dang millennials.
could look at this and go, that's kind of creepy, because it is kind of creepy. But again,
Well,
what are you going to do?
That goes with history. You got to look at what the time period was that they were doing this.
Hashtag eye roll.
Hashtag eye roll?
Yeah, like, oh my God, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to look at the context.
Well,
you got to look at
Where's their... Wait a minute here.
Marv has
Howdy,
spoken.
Marv. Welcome to Take 12 Radio.
Hey, Marv woke up.
It just occurred to me, what in the world is people in our society, what do they think about?
They don't have anything else to do with their time.
What in the world are they thinking
I know.
About? Gee, Christmas.
I have an answer for that, but it probably,
What are people thinking about?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your answer?
Because parents don't know how to parent, and the kids are bored and they play on video games and computers all day and have nothing else to do. My Kylie is not like that.
That's part of it. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. Okay, let's get back to the last question.
I like that rabbit trail.
I'm glad there's not really any topic today.
Because we would never get to it today.
Okay, which one of these songs was not intended as a Christmas song, Denver? Was it Jingle Bells, The First Noel, Silent Night, or Silver Bells? Why is that funny? Jingle Bells, The First Noel, Silent Night, or Silver Bells?
Silver Bells.
I was going to say that too.
What do you think, Tony? Silver Bells also? Marv?
Stumped, aren't you?
Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. Wait, Dave?
Noel.
All over the board.
Marv is correct.
Oh! High five.
1 out of 20.
Yeah. The famous Christmas song, it was actually written for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, was Jingle Bells. James Lloyd Pierpont originally titled the song One Horse Open Sleigh and performed it at his church's Thanksgiving service in the mid-19th century. Then, in 1859, the song was republished under the name of Jingle Bells.
1859?
1859.
That's a long time ago.
That's when Oregon became a state.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it really?
Yeah, 1859.
Dee-dee-dee-dee.
There's trivia on trivia.
Well, that sounds kind of trivial to me.
That was a good
Well,
one.
that does it for Take 12 Trivial Trivia for this episode. That's right. Settle down. All right, I got an interesting email.
Oh God.
Dear friends, Christmas is the celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. All the atheists would say, well, the 25th of December isn't Jesus' real birthday. It is the start of winter solstice. Christmas has pagan roots, blah, blah, blah. Maybe Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December. Maybe we will never know his actual real birth date because it may have been lost through history. But who really cares? We're still celebrating Jesus' birthday, right? Yeah, right. Once a year, we are still taking time to celebrate our Savior coming into the world. How can anyone allow the commercialization of the holiday overshadow the most incredible event known to man? It's the reason we have Christmas, and he would have died for any one of us, even if there was just one of us. Christ was perfect, sinless, clean, pleasant, humorous, loving, wise, and hardworking and fun. When I think of the things he is, I love him even more, and there is no doubt this is my favorite time of year. God becoming flesh and blood and showing what real love looks like, not just to a bunch of shepherds 2,000 years ago, but inviting us today to follow him, know him, and know God's acceptance, peace, joy, forgiveness, and the reason why he gave us breath has got to be the very best thing about Christmas.
Aww.
That is a cool email.
That is a cool email.
That is a cool email. Because there are humbugs out there, right, Denver?
That is your 1% person that feels that way right there. Most everybody's in Walmart's parking lot.
Oh, my God.
Shuffling
Yeah.
to get in and get that China-made gift.
You're right.
Put it on a credit card.
I was waiting for the Walmart reference.
Yeah. Well, you'll get it from me.
So yeah, there's a lot of distraction that tries to pull us away from the true reason for the season. There's a ton of it. But it was interesting because yesterday's service, right?
I was going to say something.
Pastor said something that really stuck out to me. Mm-hmm. He said, this is the one time of year where people freely and openly talk about Jesus Christ, God becoming flesh and dwelling among us in the form of a babe born in a manger, or actually it was more of a cave, actually, a shepherd's cave, and salvation coming to the world. This is that one time a year. The songs promote it, even though we have the religious songs, but most of the songs promote it. You're going to hear it on TV. You're going to hear it on the radio. You're even going to hear it on secular radio stations. We're bombarded with the birth of Christ,
like Silent Night and
right.
Oh Come All You Faithful,
which a lot of people, kind of pointing to what Denver said, which a lot of people don't even know what they're singing about. You watch these Lifetime movies, right? And it's all about presence and family and loved ones and restoration of loved ones and all this kind of stuff. And very seldom do you hear anything about Jesus, but they're all singing about Jesus.
Yeah.
So at the very least, that is huge in a country that is getting less and less faith-based. That still shines bright. Now, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're singing about. They don't necessarily even believe it.
They just know it's the season.
But they are going caroling. They are singing the traditional hymns. And so I think it is up to those of us who are the believers, the ones who truly understand that, yes, it's not the calendar accurate date for Jesus' birthday, but it is the date that we chose to celebrate it. You know, I mean, when I turn a certain age and everybody wants to celebrate my birthday on a different date, I'm good with it. Especially if it's early.
And like you said, there's no Easter songs.
Yeah,
and that's still...
We don't have Easter except for what? The bunny.
What do you say?
There's a bunny song in there.
Well,
Here
I'm sure
comes
Peter
Peter
Rabbit or something
Cottontail.
like that.
Here comes Peter Cottontail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no faith-based songs.
No, there's no. You don't hear that stuff. But that's the one holiday where we do hear. You know, so we need. I think as believers we need to step up to the plate and say, you know, happy birthday, Jesus, for crying out loud. This isn't our birthday. Right? This is supposed to be the celebration of his birth. So your thoughts, guys. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you think about all this?
I think we just cut through all the nonsense and just, you know,
get to it.
Focus on what the day is for, you know. And I usually post on my Facebook page, like "Happy Birthday, Jesus" every year. So
Yeah.
We stopped going shopping on you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas and a number of years ago because it's like, you know, this has kind of gotten out of hand. You know, people forget what this time of year is for.
Yeah.
You know, instead of, you know, family and being grateful and, you know, celebration, it's, you know, how much crap can I buy for the best deal? You know.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, it's even cheaper and you're like, oh, man, I should have waited.
Don't go to Costco.
No.
Don't go anywhere.
So, yeah, I try to, you know, I remember the days when we were all focused, our family was focused on, you know, all about the kids. You know, I got to go stand in line at Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
To get the, you know, Tickle Me Elmo. That was ridiculous.
You remember that thing?
Yeah.
And then people were paying thousands of dollars. And then, like, the next year they came out again with it. And everybody's getting for, like, $19.99. And people are going, what? So it is easy, right, to get caught up in the madness that isn't Christmas. Like Denver's saying, if you go out there, right, it's easy. But don't you think we got something to celebrate here? We really do.
Right. Well, what I like to do is when I have to go shopping, you know, got to buy food and stuff.
Right.
Is to try to be that light, you know. Try to encourage somebody or be kind to somebody or whatever it is. I talked with the Red Kettle person for like 30 minutes over the weekend when I was at Walmart.
Oh, wow.
And basically she told me all about herself, and you know, she's a I forget what belief system she has, Unitarian or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all roads lead to God.
It was we had an interesting conversation, but it was just like, you know, I was encouraging her and thanking her, and
yeah,
you know, so
it takes a lot for those guys to stand out there.
Well, yeah,
hour after hour.
Any of the
hour.
stores, you know, especially like at Walmart, you know, I try to thank the people that are there that are cashiering, because my wife used to work there, and I know how crazy it can get during the holiday season, and how A lot of those people have to work on Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Right.
and they kind of don't have a choice.
Sure.
So if you can, I try to be encouraging as much as possible.
So Denver, I know you're not a lover of the holidays, but I do know that you love the Lord, and I do know that you love the fact that He came in human flesh and dwelt among us and died for our sins and rose for our justification. True?
Correct. I had somebody, and I can't remember when it was, but it kind of eased my burden through Christmas. Was they made a comment? We had to pick a date. We'll never know.
Yeah.
So, all right, so be it. Pick that date. But I struggle with Christmas because of the hecticness and the burden it puts on so many people, during this season.
The burden of obligation.
Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses, whatever you want to call it. It's a real struggling thing for people with kids if they ain't got money or something during this type of season. And I'm a firm believer that for us to dedicate one, let's wrap up presents and give during this season, that's cool. But there's needs year round.
Sure.
And, if you see a need, I think we don't have to wait till Christmas to fill that need.
Yeah.
We can do that daily in life. So
We could use a little more of that.
yeah,
A daily application of the spirit of giving.
of giving.
Sure.
So,
Sure. So I don't want people to misunderstand. It's not that you are a humbug for the true reason that we're doing this, but it's all the garbage that kind of gets collected with it, right? The traffic and the like you said, the
sales.
obligation, and well, if I spend this much money on this grandchild, I must spend the exact same amount on this one, and they all have to be balanced, otherwise the rest of the family is going to judge me, and right?
I've seen people have 2 Christmas trees because they couldn't fit the presents under one.
Are you serious?
Let's not discuss that part of it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
If you've got 2 Christmas trees and you got that much money to spend, please ask me over.
Just spread them out.
Right?
Yeah.
Jiminy.
Yeah. So
I was going to say
anyway,
Christmas, but
it has become palatable due to the fact that we had to pick a date.
we've got to keep our focus, or we can get angry,
Oh yeah.
depressed, that kind of thing. And so I think we have to reel ourselves back in and really remember what's really going on here. Toni, what about you?
Well,
What do you think of all the craziness going on and versus their true reason for the season?
I mean, to each their own, I guess, because people are always going to think differently.
Yeah.
But like this past year.
Yeah. You've had a struggle this past year. You got a lot to be thankful for, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a tree.
Mm-hmm.
There's no presents under it, but I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah. But you got a
Sorry.
tree. But you got a tree. And by the way,
And I'm
Your
grateful for
cats
that.
like it.
I know my mittens love it. And thank God I put lights on it last night. And oh my goodness,
Right.
thank God they didn't get to it. But for real though, I'm got a little caught up. Sorry, but I don't think that you have to buy love.
well said. Really well said. We have a tree.
I don't think we appreciate things.
No.
anymore.
Maybe we get too much.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to get
No, that and I get it because we have a tree. I was feeling kind of melancholy the other day because we don't have anything under ours either, and
Yeah.
we're probably not going to.
I have you guys, I have family, I have friends. I mean, you guys are my family, of course.
Yeah,
But it's like you have to be grateful for the little things.
you do. You do.
Sorry.
So I was kind of bummed out because because my Marv, my bones are aching so bad. I can't get our lights up on the outside of the house like we did last year.
Oh, and I have my inflatables outside too.
Do you
Forgot
have?
about that.
I had a relative. Basically, when you talk about the other reasons for Christmas that aren't centered on Christ, I had a relative several years ago basically steal all that from us. So I get a little teary-eyed too because, well, this year is going to be our last Christmas with Colin. And then in May he gets married, and there you go. It's pretty slim pickings around here too. But we have to stay focused on what it's really about.
And I'm content with this.
Yeah, good for you.
Being like, and you said it perfectly on your Facebook. Simple this year, and I'm just like, I totally agree.
Yeah, I like simple.
And so was Thanksgiving. I mean, we didn't have any of the kids. It was just us, but we had a great time.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with not having the kids or having the kids. Of course, because we have kids of all ages. Well, he does, and I only have a Kelly. But you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Marv,
it was just me and James, and
and that's okay.
Yeah, and
that's
I don't
okay.
need presents. I don't need anything. I got my health that I'm working on, and that's all I need.
However, if someone would like to buy Toni a Lamborghini, she will not turn it down.
Or a horse.
Or a horse. Oh, my goodness.
So one extreme to the other.
Yeah, right?
I've always wanted a horse.
Nothing to Lamborghini.
How about a donkey?
No.
And you could decorate its tail.
Yeah.
No.
Marv, what do you think of all this Christmas hullabaloo?
Bah humbug.
There we go. Yeah.
I knew he was going to say that.
Actually, I think Denver and I are kind of in the same court. I don't get real jacked up about it. In fact, part of my history, which I'm a little reluctant to say, but it is the truth. That, I was adopted when I was little, 5 years old. And so...
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the people who adopted us, my brother and I, were very dysfunctional. And part of what their deal was is we're not going to have Christmas this year because you did this.
Wow.
Or
shut up.
We're not going to have your birthday this year because you acted like this. And so I grew up and really had a off-balance idea about Christmas. And no matter what, I accepted Christ too.
Yeah.
Christ is my Savior. There's no doubt in my mind about it. But I have these ongoing subliminal things that I just have a hard time.
Yeah, they kind of,
to me,
nudge out the other stuff.
It's very personal.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being able to expound and, oh, Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. You're getting a hug.
And so, anyway.
I love you.
Thank you.
And you deserve everything.
So, I've got a distorted... sort of, kind of.
It kind of drilled into your mind, right? It's been there for a long time.
And when I see the things like what Denver was talking down at Walmart and Fred Meyer's and these people are like herds of buffalo stampeding through the doors, and running over people.
Yeah.
And,
Sheeple, yeah.
And I had this first, and on and on and on it goes. That takes... for me personally, it takes a lot out of it. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. But and the other thing though is, I agree with what you were saying maybe it was you, Monty. I don't. Part of my deal is to try to remind people what this is about.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty subtle about it. I don't push it on people or stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But let me say this: somewhere, a long time ago, I either read or heard from a preacher or somebody that Jesus was born in October. So there.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of
Did
different.
Pastor Kelly say that 4 BC?
No, actually, he was incorrect about something. He said,
he was?
He said
Okay.
0 is 0 because he wasn't. Some people say such and such AD, which
or
is, or I mean,
BC.
BC. Yeah, that's a whole. I didn't want to get into it, but
Okay,
that's a whole.
sorry.
But I will tell you, there's a lot of different theological viewpoints on that. One of them is shepherds. We know according to the biblical account, shepherds were in the fields. Well, they weren't in the fields in the wintertime.
Yeah.
They weren't. And when they were tending, the word tending in the Greek had a lot to do with the birth of newborn lambs. And so that happens in the springtime.
Yeah.
There's more thought that it was more around February or late January is probably the most popular
that's what
view.
you were saying.
But it's like, it's like the email said, we may never know.
Yeah.
So pick a day.
Summer.
October.
Summertime. October.
Yeah,
My birthday was in October.
So
now
is
we know
mine.
why.
Oh.
Yours was too. Yeah. And I was adopted too.
Oh my God, we have two Jesuses.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait.
Careful.
I just probably pissed a lot of people off.
So I mean, it's for me. I kind of look at it this way, and I've had to kind of force myself into this mindset because of the things that Denver and Marv are talking about, and I've done it every year. But I'm like, okay, so a lot of people that complained about the commercialization of Christmas. My remark is the same thing I said last year and the year before and the year before on this show was, wait a minute, the prices are less for items, sometimes even cut in half. You got music playing, you got lights twinkling, and the prices are cut in half. What can you not like about that? Well, that's if you don't pay attention to, like you were saying, people grabbing stuff out of each other's hands. The parking situation is just crazy. I read a statistic last year somewhere about the amount of fender benders that happen at Christmas time versus any other time of year in parking lots. It's nuts, right?
It's no joke. They're crazy out there.
It's no joke. And so you got a lot of this other stuff going on, but sometimes we just got to reel ourselves back in and say, let's get back to basics. Let's just get back to basics. And for some of us, it is going to be very personal. It ought never be private. Somebody asks us about it. I'm going to be the first one to say why. But there's a lot of, and people in recovery, we know this, people in recovery have a difficult time. Those that, when it comes around to the holidays, those that have had a difficult time out of their recovery during the holidays. There's a lot of triggers, a lot of memories. There's a lot of, a lot of times family issues that come up. We don't want Uncle Joe coming because, every time he came, he knocked over the lamp in the tree.
Put the lampshade on his head.
Put the lampshade on his head. And Uncle Joe's been sober for 15 years. They're still looking at Uncle Joe like that. There's that kind of thing. It could be difficult. The nice thing, though, about the recovery community is often, I know this is the case here in Albany, often there is marathon meetings, there's food being served all day, there's that kind of stuff. And so there's support and a safe place to go. And that's really important for those of us in recovery, right?
Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say one thing?
Sure.
That I should have said earlier when we were doing the wins. For the first time in years, I got a Christmas card from one of my sisters.
Oh, did you?
Just yesterday.
Well, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Right on.
It probably came Saturday, but yeah, I was just like, whoa, and they gave me a Christmas card. So
we have a little night before Christmas recovery style that I'm going to read here to close out the show with instead of a song. But any closing thoughts on as we close our Christmas show?
Yeah. I got one.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
You guys have inspired me. The tree at the house I'm at is still in the plastic wrapper, the little webbing. It looks good. It's in the tree stand in the corner in that plastic.
In the webbing, okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put the lights on it that way so that the needles won't fall and I won't have to clean up the mess.
write it on the calendar.
Thank you.
Write it on the calendar. We have gotten through Denver's heart.
I got
Well, not really.
not really. It's kind of
Hey, he put lights on it.
passive
It's okay.
aggressive Christmas.
It was horribly passive aggressive.
I got something.
Yeah.
I I just challenge everybody to go do something nice for somebody else without them knowing.
Do it in January too, and February, and March.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, let Christmas be the launching pad for the rest of the year.
It's something
that'd be nice.
Something really good, especially this time of year. Is carts,
shopping carts.
Yeah, grab a couple carts while you're heading into the store to go shopping.
Yeah,
because those cart guys and gals.
Not all of them have those remote control things that move the
people
carts.
leave carts all over the place.
Right,
they do.
Just wherever they stop, that's where they leave it. And it's my pastor at my church in Minnesota. That was one of the things that he challenged us with, and it's always stuck with me.
The cart challenge.
Any time of year, yeah.
Or you could do like Tyler Perry did and pay off everybody's layaway at Walmart.
I saw that.
Some people are actually doing that. They're going and this one guy was listening to radio this morning. He went and there was this big long line at the layaway. So he just turned to the guy next to him and said, "Are you in here to put thing on layaway?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Well, what's your balance?" And he told him. He just gave him the money. Said Merry Christmas and gave it to him. You can do something like that. You could open the door for, you can just do a lot of stuff.
And not be rude to people, even if you're in a hurry.
Even if that's all you do.
Yeah.
Buy somebody's groceries.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It is a true statement. What goes around comes around.
It does indeed, doesn't it?
It is true.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's, as we close out the show, here's a little Night Before Christmas recovery style. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the halls, not an alcoholic was drinking or eating rum balls. The children, they're happy, their folks were serene, asleep in their rooms, dreaming Christmas time dreams. The sponsees were nestled, all snug by their phones, hoping their sponsors soon would be home. Mama, in her bathrobe, and I in my gown, were grateful to be home and not stumbling around. When out in the driveway, I saw some headlights. Who was coming to my house at this time of night? Away to the window I flew at great speed. I wanted to see what these people would need. The night, it was late. Didn't they know? I would go downstairs quickly and tell them all to go. When what to my wondering eyes would appear? But a lawn full of friends, and not one with a beer. With hope in their hearts, anxious looks on their face, they were scoping the town for the next meeting place. So I opened the door to let my friends in. The Christmas Eve meeting was about to begin. On coffee pot, coffee cups, and some sugar and cream, old-timers, newcomers, and those in between. In my house you are safe. Come on in. Hear my call. Now sober brothers and sisters, sober friends all. So into the kitchen the Alkies they flew, with a room full of feelings, some joyous, some blue. And then in a moment the meeting did start, a gratitude meeting, sober living and heart. As we went around the room there were stories of woe, descriptions of lives only Alkies would know. Stories dressed all in booze from beginning to end. That drink was a gut-wrenching fair-weather friend, a bundle of pain each drunk slung on their back. The road was quite bumpy. The deck had been stacked. Relationships crumbled, our fiancés weary. Our souls were like vacuums, our eyes always teary. Each one bared their soul and shared through the hour of recovery held dear and a new higher power. The fellowship gave new life to each face, all sober men and women with dignity and grace. A desire to stop drinking is all that's required. A way out, a way up, new lives to inspire. It was time for the meeting to come to an end. Alcoholic brothers and sisters and friends.
The Serenity Prayer was then said as we held hands and prayed. Electricity, wonder, and magic displayed. We did clean up and chattered when saying goodbye, embraces, well wishes, and not a dry eye. I sprang to my bed and thanked God for this night. I snuggled under the covers, and all felt so right. But I heard them explain as they all drove away. Thank God for sobriety and each sober day. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in to this year's Christmas special here at Take 12 Recovery Radio. We are all wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And as always, until our next broadcast, we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye now.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Meow.